Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Cubs Daily. My name is Steven Ryan, presented by Fan Arch. The Cubs lose the series opener to the Reds 1-0. It was a very timely ball game. They started at 6:15 and it ended at 8:15 Central Time. It went like bing, bang, boom. We're going to get into that. Colin Ray, brilliant once again, but the offense just didn't show up whatsoever. And there's a little bit of different subtlety to that, and I'm gonna get into that here in a moment because we're gonna talk about that. I don't ever want to say this really because I don't like that attitude of saying this is a good loss, but in my opinion, where we are as a team right now, I'm not too annoyed by this loss, okay? And then we're going to get to some of your guys and gals' viewer comments. So let's hop in. Cubs lose 1-0. It's not much to talk about, right? It's 1-0. It was an RBI single by Will Benson or something like that. Colin Ray was absolutely brilliant in this game, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot ask, again, I say it every single video because it never gets old. I cannot ask much more of Colin Ray. Honestly, he is competing for a spot in the postseason roster. He's been one of our best pitchers all season, right? I think he absolutely deserves a shot. If you're going to go out and give up one run, you can pitch for my ball club. So hopefully the Cubs, consider bringing this guy back because he's been absolutely spectacular for this team all season long. And the question's always in the back of my head, when will the magic run out? I'm not 100% sure, but again, here's the deal. This is why I'm going to say it's an okay loss, because over the course of 162 games, I'm going to get into these things here in a moment, but we only had one hit. We nearly got no hit, so not much to explain there. The offense just wasn't there tonight. It's going to happen. Hunter Green, dynamic. He throws gas. Absolute cheddar. The ace of the Red staff. Also, they're desperate. They need the win. They're in the wild card hunt, so kind of plain and simple. But let's just talk about, Colin Ray, man. Colin Ray's been absolutely dynamite for this ball club, and he did it once again today, going 7 strong, only allowing that one run. He had 5 strikeouts, I believe. Actually, I'm sorry, he had 11 strikeouts. I was way off. I saw it. I was tuning into the game, had some family stuff going on. Saw 5 strikeouts at a point, but then, now it says 11. Dude's a baller, man. He's been very stable. I'm not sure if it's him with Craig Counsell. I'm not sure how that relationship works, why he pitches so well for him, but I'm here for it. And honestly, if he wants to keep eating these innings for this team, we are going to have a chance to be successful. I think in the playoffs, his position is going to be kind of long-term reliever, right? Maybe an opener, possibly. Craig Counsell likes to get tricky with those kind of things, so I'm curious to see how we use him. But again, man, the Reds offense is one of the better offenses in baseball. I also heard a fun stat today that the Cubs, as an offense, have hit into, I think, the second least amount of double plays, which blows my mind because over the course of the year, I'm sure a lot of people on hand can remember the amount of double plays this team is rolled into, especially in clutch moments. So, just an all-around, just an L today, but again, a lot of positives in the sense of Colin Ray doing well. Soroka came in, he pitched an inning of, no runs, which you love to see. So again, we're just getting to the finish line here. I don't want to mosey on and coast in. You don't want to do that. You want to keep the offense rolling, but again, you're not going to win every single game. I do have a firm belief as myself, as a team, you want to win 3 games, 4 games, 5 games, but then you want to lose one, right? I do believe in peaking too early, okay? I genuinely do believe in that. I remember the Indians a few years back. They won 22 in a row. First round, gone. The Brewers, I'm just saying, maybe they're the best team in baseball record-wise, right? So are those Indians. And, you peak too early. That is such a thing. You kind of want to balance it out, right? You want to win 3, lose 1, win 4, lose 1. It's a rhythm and flow kind of deal, and you're just not going to win every game. You're not going to have it every game, and honestly, we didn't have it this game. Of course, in the 5th inning, that incident with Ballesteros on the base, I'm happy he's okay. But PCA, positive signs, right? He had 2 hit balls over 100 miles per hour go after that at bat. So there are good signs with this team. Michael Busch at the end of that inning, the 9th inning, hit one to the warning track. So a couple quarter inch on the bat the other way, we're tied. We're going to extras. That whole 9. So I'm not worried about it. You know, I'm not sitting here on my resting on my laurels that we're in the postseason or anything like that. But you know, again, this is where I kind of think about like, hey, there's no such thing as a good loss, but you're gonna lose games, plain and simple. What can we learn from this loss, right? That's the question. I think PCA needs to keep doing on what he's doing. Michael Bush needs to keep doing what he's doing. Because I think if they do the same thing tomorrow, the offense is going to score more runs. I genuinely do believe that. Now, it's going to be Shota Ibranaga versus Nick Lodolo, who's 8-8 with a 3.3 ERA. Really, really solid for the Reds all season long as they try to fight and climb their way into the postseason picture. It's going to be a dog battle with these guys, but we got Shota on the bump. You know the Cubs record when Shota starts after a loss, it's really, really strong. And that's some of the things that I like about this Cubs team, right? We bounce back after losses. Yes, we lose a game or two in a row. It happens. But generally speaking, when we lose, we bounce back nicely. So I'm excited for the matchup tomorrow. I do imagine that the Cubs will get the win, and we're kind of going to be back on track with just continuing to win baseball games, right? Because that's what it's all about. We got to find ways to win baseball games. So, again, good loss, great loss. I'm not too worried about it in that sense. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to some of your comments, okay? You know, we're growing here at Cubs Daily. So, again, if you continue to share your comments, you could be featured on this segment, especially going into the offseason. I'm going to want to heavily focus this segment for Fridays. So, you know, get your comments in, share your thoughts. I'm going to generally keep it positive, just being honest with you guys. But if there's a comment out there that needs to be discussed, we will absolutely discuss it here on the channel. So, let's start with the first one. Our main man, Ryan, newcomer to the channel, I believe, earlier this week. Welcome, Ryan. He said, who's ready for the postseason? And I am, Ryan. I am ready for some October baseball. I'm ready for the sweat-induced anxiety that it brings. I'm ready for the pressure. I'm ready to watch those games. I know it's going to be stressful, but I miss it. I miss it oh so dearly. You know, the last time I really felt that stress was like the 2018 playoffs-ish, but really 2017, because that's when we made a run to the NLCS. The 2018, you know, we lost in the wild card game, and then 2020 we did make the playoffs, but the offense, we just saw that fall apart. It wasn't a lot of fun. But Ryan, absolutely, I'm ready for the postseason. And then Ryan came in again, and you know, this was in the video earlier today. He said, "Hey, I totally agree. Yeah, it would be nice to win the division. Yeah, the goal can be to win the division every year, but you got to start somewhere, right? And I think the wild card, personally, is that for me. But I would imagine their priority now would be to get healthy and rest up a bit. This is the thing, though. This is the balance that a lot of people don't understand. It's a fickle line, right? You want to rest players. You want them to feel healthy, but you can't lose that rhythm. Baseball is such a rhythm and timing sport. You can't rest too much because then you're going to lose it, and we need to be hot into October, plain and simple. So, yep, we want to be fresh, but we want to be hot as well. I'm very optimistic that as long as the Cubs use the time wisely, a deep playoff run is in the future, and a lot of exciting games are in our future. Ryan, you feel like one of the only few people that are like that. I believe this team can make a deep run in the postseason as well. Obviously, I do think a couple things have to break our way, but that doesn't mean they can't break our way. It's going to be an exciting postseason, no doubt. I'm curious to see if the Phillies can catch the Brewers for the number 1 seed, because that will change some things as well. The Phillies are going to be really, really tough, but I genuinely believe that if the Cubs can find a way to get to the Brewers, we can take them, and we can go to the NLCS. So I'm looking to go to the NLCS as a fan here. Obviously, I want to win the World Series, but it's just not as easy as we all like to think, right? So I agree, Ryan, 100%. A lot of exciting games in our future, and I am there with you. Last but not least, we got our man Miller, right? I know I've talked a lot about it here on the channel, talking about facing the Padres here. He said, no guarantee we're playing the Padres. You're absolutely correct, Miller. They're only 2.5 games out of winning the division. We could possibly be playing the Dodgers. Yeah, you're right, but, you know, they lost yesterday again. They're just not playing their best baseball. So I do imagine we're going to be playing the Padres, but, again, things escalate quickly, and they can change within a week's time. You're not wrong at all, Ryan. Miller, you're not wrong at all. So we could be playing the Dodgers. You know, if things really start to fall apart, the Mets beat them. You know, they gained a game on them as well. We could face the Mets in the first round. So, I don't know. I know this. Wrigley Field is going to be rocking first week of October, and I am beyond pumped, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic venue, fantastic games to watch. And if you're new to watching Cubs baseball, it does not get much better than that. So that's going to do it for me here on Cubs Daily. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. And as usual, ladies and gentlemen, it's Go Cubs Go.